Okay, welcome to my review of ProCharts. This is for sailing and navigating, and I plan on using it for a local sailing club and these sailing races and going around buoys and getting to the next buoy, etc. So if we click on this anchor icon, that's the ProCharts icon. It's free for the first 7 days, and then after that it's $2.99 a month, I believe, $2.99 a month. This is on an old iPad, so if it runs a little slow, I apologize for that. Let me first give you a tour here. This is the chart, and these blue dots here are waypoints that I created for the buoys. And up here, this orange and yellow thing is the boat. That's your current, pointed direction. In this case, I'm at home, so it's just pointed that way. If I rotate the iPad, that'll change the heading there. You can see it now. It takes a little time, but true north is directly up. Now, give you a tour of the screen here. Starting in the upper left-hand corner, we have the menu. That's the 3 lines. That's the menu. The next is the route. That's which route you're going to pick. I haven't created any routes yet. The next item is the GPS fix, meaning how well is it receiving the GPS signal. There's 4 dots possible. All 3 are green. All 4 are green, so that's good. The little cloud with the down arrow means download the map and the zoom that you're at currently. I've already done that, but I'm going to show you briefly what it looks like. You definitely want to download the map before you leave on your sailing trip. Otherwise, you won't have coverage out there in the wild blue yonder. So download complete. The bigger the map is, the longer it'll take to download, of course, but that's one of the key features. All right, so in the 4 corners of the screen, you see little indicators. This one's speed. You can change this to show the coordinates. You can click on it to say bearing to destination, etc. So I'm going to go back to speed. So any of those corners can be show anything, even duplicates. All right, over on the upper right corner, I'm showing the distance to the next navigation point. I'll show you what that means. It's dash 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 because I don't have any routes in here yet, or I haven't picked a destination. Lower right is the bearing next. So bearing to destination. In other words, what direction should you be heading to get to that destination? And if you press cancel there. At the bottom, it shows you your current bearing. It's 338 degrees and the current speed. So it's a little duplicate. Up in the upper left, I have the current speed. Time to next is blank right now because I haven't selected a destination, which I'll do in a second. All right, on the left-hand side of the screen here, over here, you see this button is always pointing north or not, and so you want it on that generally. The flag is saving a point wherever you are now as a waypoint. The third button down is tracking, so it'll keep a history of where you've been. The 4th item down is the magnifying glass, which is searching for an address. That would be like finding a restaurant or something, and it would find it on the map that you would, sail your boat up to, etc. The bottom one is kind of nebulous, but it's a distance marker. So if I zoom in on these 2 waypoints that I did, buoy A and buoy H. If I click on that and then just touch A and then touch H, it just draws a line between, tells you how many feet and how many miles. Now, the miles are shown in regular British miles. It doesn't show nautical miles on this particular distance thing. Everything else you can select nautical miles or other units. All right. So the way I created all these buoys, these waypoints, is I clicked on the menu on the upper left and clicked waypoints. Now, I gave them a name A, B, C, D, E because that's what they are. You can sort in the upper right corner. If you want to add a new waypoint, you can put this in here and you can type a name for the waypoint. So buoy, whatever, And then here's where you put in the latitude and longitude. You can put in decimals or minutes and seconds, but it's always going to be degrees. And you can add your own depth to it and put some notes in if you want. And then don't forget to save it by pressing this yellow save button. And then we're going to use this navigate to here in a second. So I'm going to go back here. Save waypoint, no. Okay, so if I click on buoy A and then down here, navigate to here, I can do that. Let me show you how to do it from the map itself. So if I, let me take the distance marker off. There we go. If I just tap on buoy A and then I say navigate to, it'll take me from where I am now and this magenta line down to that buoy. And it tells me, there we go, it tells me in the upper right hand corner there's the distance to my next destination, which is 6.2 nautical miles. The bearing that I should be taking is in the lower right, which is 133 degrees, and currently at the bottom I'm headed in 325 degrees, so I'm almost 180 degrees off. Time next, that would depend on whatever speed you're traveling. At your current speed, then you would be take this many minutes to get there. So that's what an example of that. And so we could track our route and go around here. I didn't show you routes and other things, but let's take a look at the menu. Waypoints I'm using extensively. Routes, you would tap on the screen to do a route, but I need very precise routes around the buoys, so I'm not using that at the moment. Tracks would be, tracking where you went, history, you spent the day out sailing, where did you go, that kind of thing. Points of interest, this is where you can, you can't add your own points of interest, but you can show obstructions or show the navigation buoys, etc., or the tides. So that's not extremely helpful. And then buddies is a tracking feature where if your buddies are also using this same feature and they have a cell phone connection or some sort of data connection, then they will show up on your map and you can go find them. But that only works, again, when you have cell phone coverage. The chart is a way to set options here. Now I'm choosing the chart overlay of ENC, that's the electronic. If I change this to RNC, that's kind of the old style scan, and you can see the depth chart, so it just looks different. It's a little bit slower, I think, and so on. So I'm going to go back to chart and change that to the electronic one. And then download charts. When you're out on the water, you definitely want to change this to display downloaded data only, and that's good. All these other things don't really matter for now, but there's several options in there. And general settings, this is where you specify you want it miles per hour or kilometers per hour, whether you want nautical miles or just statute miles, etc. And then the degrees and minutes versus decimal options there. All right, let's take a look. Account. You create that account there and you log in. It's just your email address and you establish your own password, and that allows you to sync it across devices and save all your data. Data management is just information on syncing and deleting waypoints from the server, etc. If you have a secret shipwreck, you might not want to save it there. Help and user manual are just that. That's where I learned most of it, but I would have liked a video like this. So hopefully you found this helpful, and thanks for watching.